What if I told you that Queen Bey herself isn't as untouchable as we've been led to believe? That behind the carefully crafted image of perfection lies a darker side we rarely get to see. And Wendy Williams is finally pulling the curtain back on some explosive secrets. Could Beyoncé be plotting against Wendy? And is she worse than Jay-Z when it comes to covering up scandals? Let's get into it because things are about to get messy.
A lot of people would say a lot of women are offended by Beyoncé getting up there and doing that.
Wendy Williams is no stranger to calling out Hollywood elites, and it seems like she's ready to go head-to-head with Beyoncé. For years, Beyoncé has been seen as untouchable, worshipped by her loyal Bayhive, and praised for her grace and talent. But Wendy's not buying the golden image. Wendy's been hinting for a while now that there's a lot more to Beyoncé than meets the eye, and now she's letting it all out. According to Wendy, Beyoncé's perfectly polished persona hides some dark secrets that could shake up her empire. Wendy is digging into those murky waters and isn't holding back. Let's not forget the man standing beside her, Jay-Z. He's facing resurfaced allegations of SA involving a 13-year-old back in 2000. This scandal has been quietly brewing in the background for years, and now, with Diddy's charges making headlines, people are starting to revisit old allegations against other powerful men in the industry.
Massive bombshell overnight that Jay-Z has been named in a new lawsuit from a woman who claims that when she was 13, she was assaulted by both him and by P. Diddy.
And here's the kicker. Is it even possible that Beyoncé didn't know about Jay-Z's alleged actions? Think about it. She's married to the man. They've built an empire together. It's hard to believe she didn't have at least some idea of what was going on. That's exactly what Wendy Williams is trying to expose, and she's calling Beyoncé out for standing by Jay-Z despite these accusations. According to some sources, Beyoncé isn't taking this lying down. Allegedly, she's got a whole plan in place to take Wendy Williams down and shut her up for good. We're talking about silencing tactics, PR strategies, and who knows what else. If there's one thing Beyoncé is known for, it's controlling her narrative. Her team is always on top of any negative press, making sure her image stays squeaky clean. So, is it really that far-fetched to think she might be working behind the scenes to protect herself and her empire from Wendy's accusations? Now, this next part takes a wild turn, because a conspiracy theory floating around online claims that Beyoncé may have some connection to Wendy Williams' recent health issues. If you've been following Wendy's story, you know she was diagnosed in 2023 with frontotemporal dementia and progressive aphasia, a condition that affects her ability to speak, write, and even understand language. It's devastating, and while the official causes are linked to medical conditions like stroke or severe head trauma, some folks are pointing fingers at Beyoncé. So, why are people dragging Beyoncé into this? Well, let's rewind to 2011 when Wendy made headlines for speculating that Beyoncé might have used a fake baby bump during her pregnancy. Yep, this was during the time Queen Bey announced she was expecting Blue Ivy, and the internet was already in overdrive analyzing every little detail.
I need to talk to you about this Beyoncé baby bump conspiracy rumor, fake pregnancy thing that's being alleged. I just don't even know where to start, so I'm going to take you through it. Beyoncé recently, like last Sunday, appeared on an Australian show. And when she sat down, the baby bump squashed, bent, and crumpled.
Wendy aired a clip from an Australian interview where Beyoncé's baby bump seemed to fold strangely beneath her dress. Wendy, never one to shy away from controversy, went all in on the moment saying, "What is that? Is that a baby bump? I don't know." She even added that when she was pregnant, she couldn't sit the way Beyoncé did, implying that something was off.
I can tell you, when I would get out of the bed and sit up at a kitchen table, I wouldn't be able to sit like that. Like, I was so concerned about my back and the baby, even at 5 months.
Fast forward to now, and some conspiracy theorists are connecting the dots, claiming that Wendy's ongoing health struggles might somehow be linked to her boldness in questioning Beyoncé's image. It's a stretch, sure, but in the world of celebrity drama, nothing seems too out there for people to believe. Wendy Williams has never shied away from coming for Beyoncé over the years. From the infamous elevator incident to her claims about Destiny's Child, Wendy has been picking apart Beyoncé's image for ages. One of the most talked about moments Wendy highlighted was the infamous elevator fight between Jay-Z and Solange back in 2014. Wendy didn't just focus on Solange kicking and swinging at Jay-Z, she zeroed in on Beyoncé's calm demeanor during the chaos. Wendy even questioned Beyoncé's silence in the elevator, calling it strategic rather than innocent. She hinted that Beyoncé's composed reaction wasn't about being unbothered, but about protecting her image.
So Solange is brushing off the whole elevator incident by referring to it as that thing, and she says that her family is all good.
Wendy also pointed out how the footage from that night leaked, despite being from a high-profile location like the Standard Hotel, which prides itself on celebrity discretion. She suggested that even in the middle of a scandal, Beyoncé's team worked overtime to control the narrative.
We wouldn't have to try so hard if Solange didn't do that thing in the elevator.
Now here's where things get even messier. According to rumors, the elevator brawl wasn't just Solange having a random outburst. Allegedly, she was furious because she knew Jay-Z was cheating on Beyoncé with none other than fashion designer Rachel Roy. And get this wasn't some first-time situation. It was one of those ongoing issues that Solange had apparently had enough of. Think about it. If this was the first time something like this happened, wouldn't Beyoncé have stepped in? But no, she stood there calmly, almost like she had seen it all before. Insiders even speculated that Beyoncé's demeanor wasn't shock, but a calculated choice to stay out of the drama and maintain her composed public image.
That Beyoncé did not get involved with this unless something happened to that party that Beyoncé knows that Solange was right and Solange is just sick and tired of it.
The plot thickens with Rachel Roy's involvement. People at the Met Gala after-party claimed that Solange and Rachel got into a heated argument before the elevator fight. If you didn't know, Rachel Roy has long been rumored to have a complicated history with Jay-Z. She reportedly started as an intern at Rocawear back in the day, when Jay-Z and Dame Dash were running things. And let's just say, those offices weren't exactly known for professional boundaries.
People are saying that inside of this after party to the Met, that Solange got into some sort of argument with the fashion designer Rachel Roy.
It's alleged that back then, models and pretty interns were constantly around, and some of them, well, had closer relationships with Jay and Dame. Rachel's name has come up in those whispers for years, so when Solange saw her at the party, it probably brought all those old wounds to the surface.
And it's also was known, I'll say alleged, for the legal team, that Dame and Jay-Z would pass girls around up there.
Rachel's presence and her history with Jay-Z were enough to push Solange over the edge. It wasn't just about the cheating, it was about the blatant disrespect toward Beyoncé. That's why Solange snapped in the elevator. And honestly, it's not hard to see why. What's wild is how Beyoncé just stood there, barely reacting while all of this went down. Some might say she was trying to keep the situation low-key, but others believe it's deeper than that. For years, Beyoncé has been praised for her calm, composed public image. But moments like these show that her silence may not be about peace. It might be about control.
Okay, there's the security guard. She doesn't look drunk, she's not teetering on her heels, her hair is laid, shout out to her hairstylist.
She knew the world was watching, even if the footage hadn't leaked yet. Any dramatic reaction on her part would have added fuel to the fire. Instead, she let Solange do the talking, or in this case, the kicking, while she stood there quietly, protecting her image as the unbothered queen.
Look, Beyonce and the security guard were standing there like this is nothing new between Solange and Jay-Z. You know, it didn't look like something new. I mean, otherwise, wouldn't you have jumped in the way?
And let's not forget, Jay-Z's alleged affair with Rachel Roy wasn't just a rumor. It's something fans have speculated about for years, especially after Beyoncé's Lemonade dropped. The infamous Becky with the good hairline sent the Bayhive into overdrive, and Rachel's name was dragged into the spotlight once again. But Wendy didn't stop at the elevator drama. She's also been vocal about Beyoncé's alleged dark side when it comes to her Destiny's Child days. Wendy has repeatedly claimed that Beyoncé's rise to fame came at the expense of her bandmates. She pointed out how favoritism towards Beyoncé was obvious in everything from screen time in music videos to the distribution of vocals on songs. Wendy even brought up stories of Michelle Williams and Kelly Rowland being overshadowed and sidelined. But she went even further by accusing Beyoncé of being complicit in pushing original members LaToya Luckett and Latavia Robertson out of the group. Wendy alleged that Beyoncé's father and former manager, Matthew Knowles, worked under Beyoncé's direction to remove the original members, clearing the way for her to take center stage. It wasn't just business, it was personal, Wendy suggested, adding that this set the tone for Beyoncé's entire career. Wendy didn't stop at the Destiny's Child drama. She went even deeper, accusing Beyoncé of being calculated in her relationships with other celebrities. According to Wendy, Beyoncé's image isn't just about talent, it's about control. She painted a picture of someone who struggles to maintain authentic connections, often treating relationships as transactional. And when it comes to rivalries, Beyoncé's name has been linked to some of the biggest in Hollywood. One example Wendy brought up was Beyoncé's fallout with Kanye West and his ex-wife Kim Kardashian. At one point, it seemed like the two power couples, Beyoncé and Jay-Z, Kanye and Kim, were unstoppable forces in the industry. But when Kanye's controversies started piling up, the distance between the Carters and the Wests grew more obvious.
Jay-Z, I know you dead killers. Please don't send them at my head. Just call me. Talk to me like a man.
Wendy suggested that Beyoncé and Jay-Z's decision to cut ties wasn't just about Kanye's antics. Instead, she implied it was a calculated move, a way to distance themselves from any drama that could tarnish their image. And let's be real, their absence from Kanye and Kim's wedding was a major statement.
Kanye's wedding, as you know, is this weekend, but there's major drama, which to me is easily fixable, but all parties probably wouldn't agree.
Wendy also highlighted rumored tensions between Beyoncé and Rihanna. While the two have never publicly addressed any beef, whispers about their rivalry have followed them for years. Wendy claimed this was another case of Beyoncé controlling the narrative, allegedly making sure no one else in the industry could overshadow her.
In the last 2 years, her reputation seems to have, and it's because of pressure from girls like Rihanna and stuff, whether Beyoncé will admit that or not.
And then there's Jennifer Hudson. Wendy brought up how Beyoncé allegedly downplayed Jennifer's breakout success after Dreamgirls, even though Jennifer won an Oscar for her performance. According to Wendy, Beyoncé was careful to maintain her status as the star, even if it meant keeping others at arm's length.
I never would have guessed that it would be a year later and it would be in a film called Dreamgirls, and we would be co-stars, me and Beyoncé.
With everything Wendy has been exposing about Beyoncé lately, it's no wonder Queen Bey might be coming after her. And let's not forget, this isn't the first time Wendy has publicly thrown shade at Beyoncé. Back in 2012, Wendy sparked major backlash when she took aim at Beyoncé's intelligence on The Wendy Williams Show. "I'm a Beyoncé fan," Wendy started, but what came next was far from complimentary. She told her audience, "I'm gonna watch her upcoming documentary because fortunately, one of the TVs in our kitchen has closed captioning so I'll be able to understand what she says. You know Beyoncé can't talk. She sounds like she has a 5th grade education." The audience immediately booed her for the comment, but Wendy doubled down, getting defensive and saying, "Excuse me, I just said I was a fan, but we have to call a spade a spade."
I mean, honestly. And we really do have the closed captioning just for times like that. She's even gonna give us a glimpse of her baby bump, which, you know, we had never seen it, like when she lifts up her shirt and shows it.
For years, people have wondered whether Wendy was wrong for saying this. But here's the thing. What if that 5th grade education comment explains why Beyoncé has allegedly been oblivious to so much chaos around her? From the shocking allegations against Jay-Z to her rumored control over people in her orbit, could Beyoncé's lack of awareness, or maybe her calculated silence, be a way to protect herself? And speaking of keeping things under wraps, let's talk about another bombshell that's been swirling for years. Allegedly, Beyoncé has been blocking attempts to confirm paternity for Rymir Satterthwaite, who claims to be Jay-Z's son. Rymir's mother alleges that she had a relationship with Jay-Z when she was just 16 years old. If the DNA test were to come back positive, it wouldn't just confirm Jay-Z's infidelity, it would prove that he was with an underage girl.
I don't know how he feeling. Like I would hope he would think about it and this would be in his mind.
For Beyoncé, this would be devastating. Not only would it tarnish Jay-Z's reputation even further, but it would also call into question how much she knew about his alleged behavior and why she chose to stand by him. But that's not even the most scandalous part. There have also been questions about how old Beyoncé was when she and Jay-Z first got together. Insiders have hinted that she might have been a teenager at the time, which would make their relationship and its origins look extremely questionable in hindsight.
Was there when he first started dating Beyonce at 17, 18, he was 30-something.
And just when you thought things couldn't get any wilder, the internet has turned its spotlight on Kathy White. If you've been scrolling through TikTok or X recently, you've probably seen the buzz about this one. Kathy White was a well-known publicist, rubbing shoulders with some of the biggest names in Hollywood, including Jay-Z and Beyoncé. Tragically, White passed away in 2011 at just 29 years old, reportedly from a brain aneurysm.
Allegedly, the song Daughter on Beyonce's Cowboy Carter album.
I love that one.
It's potentially a murder confession about Jay-Z's mistress, Kathy White.
So, what's the connection? According to a viral theory, Beyoncé's song Daughter from her album Cowboy Carter might contain cryptic lyrics that reference White's death. The lyrics in question? Your body laid out on these filthy floors, your bloodstains on my custom coutures. Bathroom attendant let me right in. She was a big fan. I really tried to stay cool, but your arrogance disturbed my solitude. Now I ripped your dress and you're all black and blue. Look what you made me do. On the surface, it could just sound like the kind of dramatic storytelling Beyoncé is known for. But conspiracy theorists are convinced that these lines hint at something much more sinister. The opening lyric, "Your body laid out on these filthy floors," has become the focal point, with many speculating that it's not just a metaphor, but a veiled reference to something darker. But it doesn't stop there. The theory digs even deeper, linking Kathy White to an alleged affair with Jay-Z. According to the rumors, White was not only romantically involved with Jay-Z, but was also allegedly pregnant with his child at the time of her death. Some even claim that she gave birth before passing away under mysterious circumstances.
Jay-Z was rumored to have a very long-time mistress. People knew of Kathy White because of Jay-Z, okay?
And here's where it all gets even messier. Remember Wendy Williams' infamous comments about Beyoncé's alleged fake baby bump back in 2011? It's all coming full circle. The conspiracy theorists are tying those old pregnancy rumors to the Kathy White saga, suggesting that Beyoncé may have faked her pregnancy, while Kathy White was allegedly carrying Jay-Z's child. Now, this is where the whispers turn into full-blown accusations. Some conspiracy theorists believe that Beyoncé might have been involved in silencing Kathy White to protect her family and image. Allegedly, when Beyoncé discovered the affair, she saw White as a threat, both to her marriage and her public reputation. These claims are, of course, unproven, but they've been enough to fuel countless online debates.
Shortly after giving birth, Kathy died mysteriously in her apartment of a brain aneurysm.
I have a feeling this is related.
With Wendy continuously exposing alleged truths about the Queen Bey and tying her into past scandals, it's becoming clear that Beyoncé is not immune to public scrutiny. And now, with these accusations piling up, it's no wonder Beyoncé might be gearing up to come for Wendy. What do you think about Wendy's explosive claims? Could there really be a hidden side to Beyoncé that the world has been ignoring? And do you think Wendy's latest revelations could finally shake Beyoncé's seemingly untouchable throne? Let us know your thoughts in the comments down below. Don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe for more deep dives into the wildest Hollywood stories, and check out the next video on your end screen for even more jaw-dropping revelations.